SaaS founders make marketing so much harder than it needs to be, and it's actually pretty easy to fix. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to troubleshoot slow growth for your startup with these 3 specific marketing concepts. My name's Tommy Clark. I run an agency where I've helped over 30 SaaS founders launch and scale a profitable content presence on LinkedIn. And prior to that, I was head of social at a Series A startup called Triple Whale. And the first SaaS marketing concept you gotta understand is that founder-led content is here to stay. At this point, it is pretty irresponsible if you're a SaaS founder and not posting content to LinkedIn. Sure, you could post to your company page, but honestly, if we're being real, company pages are just kind of whack. Like, think about all of the accounts that you follow on the platform. I can imagine that most of them, if not all of them, are people, other thought leaders. I hate the term, but it is what it is. Influencers, I almost hate that term more, also is what it is. But you get what I mean. You follow people on social platforms, even LinkedIn. I'm not saying don't post to your company page. They work well for converting traffic, but not for creating it. Think of it like a landing page where you drive the traffic that finds you through your founder's account. Again, think of all the accounts you follow on LinkedIn. Can you name a single company page? For me, the accounts I follow will be people like Adam Robinson, Chris Walker, Austin Hughes, all personal founder-led accounts. The solution here is pretty simple. Ideally, you want to get your founder posting 5 times per week on LinkedIn. You can start with 3 and ramp to 5, but really 5 is that sort of minimum viable cadence to see success on the platform as an early stage startup founder without any previous recognition. Along with that, you'll want to comment and engage for about 20 minutes per day. That way you're not just posting into the void and you're manually adding people to your audience. Now, SaaS marketing concept number 2 is end measurement overkill. SaaS marketers love to over measure everything. They want to be able to perfectly map the buyer's journey and figure out exactly what piece of content drove the person to get on a sales call or a demo. And it sounds great in theory, but attribution, as we all know, is a black box. And this is especially the case with founder-led content and social. And the easiest way to get around this is just do self-reported attribution. So if someone gets on a sales call or books a demo, ask them how they heard about you. Self-reported attribution does have its limitations, but if you're going hard on founder-led content or whatever other marketing strategy you're implementing, you should see a lift in the amount of people that say they found you from that channel. Even if you're not perfectly tracking every single lead that comes in, you'll be in a better spot. What I don't want you to do, and what a lot of SaaS marketers love to do, is put UTM links in every damn post. I get where your head is at, but 1, it kills reach because platforms don't want you to go off the platform. If I'm LinkedIn, I want you to stay on LinkedIn, so I'm going to just down regulate any posts that include links in them. And on top of that, the buyer behavior on social just doesn't really follow that pattern. Think about the last time you've made a high ticket software purchase or a high ticket purchase in general just on an impulse buy after seeing a single social media post. The reality of it is you follow the founder on social, you see their stuff, you start to trust them, you listen to their podcasts, you subscribe to their email list. You're getting hit from all these different angles. You might even get hit with a few paid ads. You might get hit with a cold email campaign. And the cold email might be actually what converts you, but you converted because you had seen the founder on LinkedIn. So how do you actually attribute that properly? It gets pretty tough. But what I would focus on if I was launching a startup's marketing program is provide as much value as you can in feed. That's going to build trust. You're going to maximize your reach because, again, platforms want to amplify content that keeps people on their platform longer. That's the rule behind pretty much every social media algorithm. If you can keep someone on LinkedIn in the feed longer, it's going to reward you. And by doing so, they're going to see your content more and more and build trust at a faster rate than if you're trying to get them to go to this damn landing page to fill out a lead form the first time they come across your content. So just to use a hypothetical example here, say Ramp launches a report on startup spending and has a bunch of data to share. They could just gate it behind a lead form, and honestly, it'd probably do pretty well because that's super compelling. But what I would do in that situation is take that data, take the takeaways inside the report, and distribute them to social in the form of infographics, carousels, founder-led video content, founder-led written content, and extract as much value as I can from that report and share it to the social timeline. And sure, have the CTA be to go download the report and have the link in your bio be to go download the report, but you don't want to over-index on that. When you provide enough value up front, people are going to naturally make their way to the next step anyway, which will then be filling out the lead form. But you only get them there by getting in front of them, and you're going to get in front of them more by posting social native content and not over-obsessing over every little UTM link. Now, marketing concept number 3 is you want to create a content ecosystem, specifically on LinkedIn. And what this does, and what I mean by a content content ecosystem is you want to have your founder, you want to have your other employees active on the platform, and you want to have your company page active on the platform. You create this sort of cast of characters, and what this does is it creates this feeling of being everywhere. So if I go on LinkedIn and I'm following, say, Exit 5, I see Dave's content, I see Matt's content, I see Danielle's content. They're everywhere. And just over and over, I'm getting exposed to Exit 5 and their brand, and it's building more trust and it's keeping them top of mind. Like whenever I cite this example of a content ecosystem, Exit 5 is the first one that comes to mind because they're doing such a good job at this and they're just top of mind for me. This approach also gives your audience people to follow along with, just like people want to follow along with the founder. If you can do that with your CMO, your marketing manager, other people on the team, it just creates this human to human connection and doesn't make your marketing feel so sterile. And especially as an early stage company, if you can create that human to human connection, this is a major advantage that you have over industry incumbents who only publish super filtered PR statements and stuff like that. Another example of a company who does this quite well is Vermont. If you look at both their founders, Rishabh and Shreyas, you look at their CMO, Rabba, you look at their head of or director of marketing, Alexa, they're super active both on LinkedIn and on Twitter, but for the sake of this video, we'll focus on LinkedIn. When you scroll on the timeline, you're going to see one of their pieces of content, whether it be the founder, whether it be the CMO, whether it be director of marketing. And I have a whole video on my channel going over this, so I'll link it up there. But my point is you want to get more than one person active on LinkedIn on behalf of your startup. If you can nail this, if you can get your founder posting, if you can get other people on your team posting, and you can do it in a way that is going to be rewarded by the social platforms with more distribution, you're just going to get in front of your target audience so much, and eventually they'll move on to that next step, whether it is filling out a lead form, whether it is booking a demo, whether it is going to an event that you're hosting. But so many SaaS startups just don't have the patience to see this out. I'm not expecting you to wait a year or 2 years, but you got to give it at least a few months for content marketing to really pick up momentum, and you'll start to see that lift in the self-reported attribution that we talked about earlier. Now, if you want to launch a founder-led content strategy for yourself, or if you're a marketer for the founder of your company, what I would do is watch the free course that I have on my channel. It's over an hour long and walks you step by step through the exact playbook that we use at Compound that you can pretty much just steal. And I'll also link some templates down below. But go ahead and check out that video. I'll see you over there, and I hope this one was helpful.